Playoff week 1, Brian.
Yeah, it sucked. Now, how's it going? How you doing?
One good game. I'm good, man. I'm good. Trying to cherish these last few weeks of football, but
Yeah, I agree. It's sad that it's coming to an end. It feels like, for me at least, feels like football season ended already because Bengals are out of it. It's like from a cheering standpoint. But this is actually probably the best week of the year. I know this is a lot of people's favorite week of the year because you still get your 2 Saturday games, you get your 2 Sunday games, and you get typically the best matchups of the year because it's your divisional round. So you got your 1 seeds playing whoever is the lowest seed left, then you have typically your 2 and 3 seed playing each other. So from listening this week and what I've heard, I didn't realize it, but this is a lot of people's favorite week of the season, and it makes sense. Typically the games are really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Like picking up from the podcast I listened to, I noticed that a lot this week. So
I feel like around week 8 is everyone's favorite.
Yeah,
because everyone's still in it. Fantasy's kicking off. Everyone's making trades.
I don't know why for me, but I think it's like week 4 or 5. It's like you get that first quarter of the season out of the way. You get to October, and
that's what I was thinking about week 8. You kind of see who's good. You still kind of have a chance, even if you're 3 and 5.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Yeah, no one's dead. Like no one's dead. Is kind of what you're saying, except for maybe a couple teams. But you still have hope. You're still alive. Yeah.
I know what you mean. Like these games are starting to get real, and that's why it's probably everyone's favorite. But I just want more of it. I want more games.
Well, that's the problem, right? Because each week you get less and less games. That's what sucks. Each week you get less and less games.
It's like March Madness. That first weekend's unbelievable.
Yes.
Second weekend's okay, and then you're like, oh man, there's only 3 games left.
Yeah. Then you get to the point where it's like, oh, there's 1 game per day. Like this sucks. Yeah. No, it's the first weekend because you have your 64, and then the first weekend's the best by far. It's not even close.
It's 68, Brian.
Oh, sorry.
You're a college expert.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot about the 4 kind of playing games.
I don't
count those teams. But
you know what? I agree. My bad.
So
good.
Getting into the games from last week, I know I said at the top, sucked. That felt like one of the worst wild card weekends. And again, it's all recency bias. You just remember what you remember, but all blowouts, and they weren't even just blowouts.
One of them wasn't.
20. The Commanders Buccaneers was a good game, but before we get to that one, the rest of these games, at no point, maybe Chargers Texans when it was 6-0 in the first half or whatever it was, or I can't remember what the score was at halftime. 10-6 at halftime. At no point besides maybe that first half of the Chargers Texan games did any of those games besides the Commanders game feel close. Had to sit down and watch the whole thing. Super interested. I don't know. It was hard to watch. It was brutal.
What's funny is those 2 games that you mentioned were probably the 2 least sought out games.
Yeah, I definitely Chargers Texans. I'd put up there.
I mean, the Bucks barely get in with what would they go 10-7?
Yeah, but I think we talked about it last week. At least we thought it was going to be high scoring, it's somewhat entertaining to watch.
I mean, that was the only entertaining game.
But it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't Steelers Pittsburgh, which I thought was going to be the most entertaining game to watch. I was obviously wrong about that game. I thought Rams Vikings was going to be a super good game to watch, and we can get into some of that. But Broncos Bills, I think everyone knew it was going to be a blowout. And Packers Eagles, I thought was going to be a good game, but Jesus,
Packers
they just
stink.
Packers stink, man. And I know you were on the Packers not bandwagon, but you were a Packers believer for a lot of the year. And we've kind of texted back and forth about Packers throughout the year, but Jordan Love just
after week 13, I was kind of out.
Yeah.
They just looked.
It's pretty clear to see
bad, but there was that stretch where you're like, this could be a sneaky team, mm-hmm. But Jordan Love, I feel like he just kept getting worse throughout the season, and
injuries kind of start taking their toll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this game was insane.
Every 5th play, receiver went down.
Yes.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a tough one to watch. But yeah, so Texans Chargers. I want to get in that one a little bit. I want to get your thoughts on. I was surprised. I think Rex Ryan called it a bye week for the Chargers coming into the week, and we talked about it a little bit last week. I'm really surprised. I thought Texans were the worst team coming into the playoffs out of both conferences. I don't think they've even particularly played very well, especially on the opposite side of the ball. Defense played great. Obviously, they forced 4 turnovers from Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert, man, what are your thoughts? There's a lot going on with him right now, going around the.
I want to hear yours first because mine's very short and sweet.
He sucks.
No.
No. Go okay. Ahead. Yeah.
You go first.
I'll say my first. I think there are some parts of his game that need a little bit of work. I think he's a great talent. I think he can throw the ball a mile. He has and I don't want to say like social media quarterback because I don't think that's what it is. Like I think he's a very, very good quarterback. He's got the flashy arm. He's got the athletic ability. But something about him in his 3 most important games that he's played to his career, he hasn't shown up. Like 4 interceptions, and I know one of them went through. I can't remember who it went. It was one of his tight ends. The ball went right through his hands and it got picked. But still, 4 picks in a playoff game. His previous playoff game, he's up 24-0 in the first half against the Jaguars, and they lose. Again, not all his fault, but I believe he did have a turnover or 2 in that game. And then the playing game against the Raiders, where the winner of that game on Sunday night made the playoffs again, also didn't deliver a win. I do think there's something missing there. I feel like certain quarterbacks know how to win these important games. Your Patrick Mahomes, your Josh Allen for the most part, except for when he goes up against Patrick Mahomes. Lamar has not had a lot of playoff success, so I think he's going to kind of go down that story, that path of kind of what Peyton Manning did too, of not winning the big games. And as you continue to lose those, that pressure mounts and mounts. And I think it gets harder to win those games. And then the only thing I can't stand about watching him is his checkdowns, man. He throws a fucking 99 mile an hour fastball to his running backs and tight ends on these little touch passes. And I think it creates issues. They're not expecting it. So I think there's just some of that might be missing. I do think he's going to be, he is a great quarterback. He's going to continue to be a great quarterback, but that pressure is going to build. It's going to mount. And I know people are already comparing him to Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning went 0 for 5 in his first playoff games, if I'm not mistaken.
I would hate to be compared to Peyton Manning.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like early in the career, it is a shitty narrative to have follow you around the NFL, and it builds up that pressure. Or maybe it was Peyton Manning didn't win a playoff game until year 6, and the year he lost in year 5, he lost 32-0 or something like that. So he just had no playoff success for a while. I just find it interesting. I didn't see it coming. I didn't think that was a possibility in this game. Houston's got a good defense though, so I don't know. I just think pressure's going to mount. It's going to continue to stay there. That he's got to get that monkey off his back one of these years. And I do think they're a better coach team too. So just interesting.
Is that it?
What do you think? Yeah. What are your short and sweet thoughts?
Okay, so he has no one to throw to.
Yeah.
He has 2 running backs who were sent away from the Ravens.
Yeah.
He's got a new coach, new system, new offensive line. Again, no one to throw to besides Ladd McConkey.
Who's a beast.
Who's unbelievable, but he's a slot guy. And who's the next best slot guy in the league right now?
No, he can play outside too. I think he's
a slot guy.
Why do you think he's a slot guy?
Because he's white. No, because he is. That's his position.
That's funny.
Quentin Johnston is one of the worst receivers in the league. Joshua Palmer is bad. He's got no one to throw to. This team shouldn't have even been in the playoffs. So this RG3 tweeted something stupid about.
I think I saw it. Yeah.
Don't give whatever. I don't know. He says something dumb about him not performing in the playoffs, but he had Brennan Staley as his coach, who is historically bad. Again, new system. They sent out all of his weapons. He has all new guys. They're way ahead of schedule. I understand it's the under pressure game and all that, but how many quarterbacks are you going to? I mean, I know you're not saying he's bad, but people saying that we should hold him accountable I think RG3 said like hold him accountable for this.
Yeah.
But like what for what? Like how fast does everyone expect to like go to the Super Bowl? Like not everyone's gonna be Joe Burrow. He also has a million weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone's gonna be Tom Brady. You were just comparing him to Peyton Manning. He had a pretty good career. All I'm saying is everyone is such in a rush. It's like the whole LeBron thing. Like he didn't win until he was 28. Guess what? Same with Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
They're the best two players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's going to be one of the best players of all time, but he is a generational talent, and people just need to relax a little bit on him.
Yes,
and they were way ahead of schedule. I can't emphasize enough. They shouldn't have even been in the playoffs. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I agree with you. I still consider the season a success. Like they were, to your point, they're not supposed to be in the playoffs. They were supposed to be kind of fighting for a best case scenario is probably what they did this year, win 10 or 11 games, become the 6 seed, 5 seed, 5-6 seed. They're the 5 seed. Don't think he's a bad quarterback by any means. I think he's a top 5 quarterback. I would still lump him in that top. I think he's better than CJ Stroud. Who just beat him. Like I wouldn't say CJ Stroud is better because of that. I think I know what you're talking about. The tweet, you need to hold him as accountable as like Lamar Jackson in previous years. But to your point, Lamar Jackson's teams that he's had those couple years, like he had 9 Pro Bowlers on his roster last year. 9. Yeah. Like that's insane. Like that doesn't happen. In a couple of years before, like
and he's had the same coach. He's had the same coach his whole career.
Right. A couple years ago, I think they had I wanna say it was like 4 All Pros and like 8 Pro Bowlers as well. So like they've had some very, very good teams and their defenses have been very good. The Chargers hit on 1 million draft picks this year, which is great. They have 2 starting corners that they got in the 3rd and 4th round of the draft. Like they did a fantastic job fielding the team that they did. All I'm saying, and to your point about, I'm not trying to compare him to Peyton Manning. That's just what people are starting to push in that trajectory. And I know it's super early. But all I'm saying is like, this is what happens when you lose these games is like the same thing happened to Peyton Manning back in the day. It didn't feel as bad because there wasn't social media, but they were still doing it. Like they were still doing it on TV and stuff. It's just a way to push narratives and to create stories. So I'm just saying that's going to follow him now, just because whether it's right or wrong, it will follow him until he wins a big game or two. That's what's going to happen.
Well, it's like when Tom Brady in like 2013, people were like, "Is he done?"
That was the funniest. 2015. I think he's done, and then he played like another 7 years.
I think it was like 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
It's like is Tom Brady's. It was like after his first 3.
Yes, and then he had a whole second
he had a whole second career. Yeah, but it's just like people run with these narratives. And again, my thing is like everyone just needs to be patient.
Yes,
but like stuff like this, especially with social media now, no one can be patient. But it's like, how fast do you expect these guys? Like people expected CJ Stroud to be the best quarterback in the league right now, and he had a down year. But there's not many young quarterbacks you would take over CJ Stroud.
And I like that point because like I was listening to a podcast this week and it said something similar. It was, they were talking about coaching landing spots and Drake May and Mike Vrabel and all that kind of stuff. And someone had said, Drake May is a top 7 quarterback in the NFL. And then the other guy was like, whoa, we need to pump the brakes. Like we learned our lesson last year with CJ Stroud. He had a great rookie year. People are putting him top 5. And he's like, look at these quarterbacks we have today in the NFL.
Yeah,
like
insane.
You can't, after 1 year, you can't just assume this guy's, because this is what happened to CJ Stroud. You put him in this tier of like where Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow live, and they've proved it for 4, 5, 6 years now. So he has a down season, and then he's getting like destroyed. Like he stinks when he's not. He doesn't stink, right? He had a bad year. You can't lump him in that category yet. He's probably the tier below him. But like that, I kind of liked it. It was like, all right, guys, like I know we fall in love with these rookie quarterbacks like Jane Daniels. We want to just throw the world at them. But a lot of these guys have been doing this for 4 or 5 years. Let's pump the brakes. Let's give them 2 or 3 years, lower the expectations. Because to your point, like it's hard to win Super Bowls. I think it's partially like the Brady and Mahomes thing that has kind of flipped this to what you're saying. Is like Mahomes came in, won 3 in the first 5 years he started. Brady obviously won 7. So like I think there's just this pressure to be one of those guys when all the pieces need to fall in place. They have the best coaches in the world helping them. They've had, they've gone through roster turnover and they're the consistent piece, which is great. But to your point, coaches, like Mahomes had weapons for one of them. The other time he didn't have weapons, but he had a great defense. Like it all interchanges, and it's all a jigsaw puzzle that needs to, same with Brady. All a jigsaw puzzle that needs to come together. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I do think the expectations for these young guys is like only one person can win every year. Well, only one person can win.
People love to like my thing is you can't argue outliers. You can't argue an anomaly. Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes are anomalies. We've never seen that before. And even Patrick Mahomes has had a down year, but no one's talking about it because everyone knows who he is. You know what I'm saying? So everyone wants to be the next guy, but there's only one of those guys every generation. Like there was only one Tom Brady. And guess what? Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers,
Ben Roethlisberger.
Big Ben, yeah. I mean, well, Philip Rivers, I wouldn't put in that category, but
I feel bad for Philip Rivers, man.
Why?
Because he was the one guy out of that entire group. Like even Eli, like he's probably better than Eli Manning, but Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. So like people forget about Philip Rivers, but Eli Manning gets propped up because he won. But like he won 2 Super Bowls, so that's all that matters.
If you ever see Philip Rivers throw a ball, you want to forget about it.
I know.
But he was good. But I'm just saying, like Tom Brady was an outlier for like 5 guys you could possibly put on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And now Patrick Mahomes is up against Burrow, Allen, Lamar, Stafford.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stafford's another great example. Until he got traded to the Rams, he went to 2 playoff games with the Lions, lost both of them. His first playoff win came the year he won the Super Bowl like 3 years ago. Isn't that nuts? Like in hindsight, I was like, I didn't even like. He was always great, but you kind of forget that he didn't have any of that success until he left Detroit. So it's just interesting. Yeah.
It sucks that he spent like 10 years there.
I think it was until he was like 33. Yeah, 10 or 11. Insane. Yeah. Same with Calvin Johnson. He Barry Sanders, like they all retired early because they played for Detroit.
Imagine what could have been.
Yeah.
Now the Lions are a blue blood.
Yes. But yeah, so look, I got a dog. So that was my big takeaway. Lavin Conte is a beast.
Oh yeah, he's so good. But anyway, so the Justin Herbert thing, let's relax a little bit. Let's give him.
I agree.
Give him some time, but because that's all I heard, and all the people who knew what they were talking about were like,
"Chill."
He's probably a top 8 quarterback.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably top 6. And you can debate on who the 6 are, but
I want to really quick: Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Allen.
Then you could pick
Stafford,
Herbert. Are we forgetting someone like super obvious?
Probably
Hurts up there if you want to.
No.
Sam Darnold. No, I'm just kidding.
No. What are you doing? Golf?
I know, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Golf, maybe. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, so he's in that.
Yeah, top 7, top
he's
6.
Clearly
7.
In that conversation of a lot of people have him in the top.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I mean, we forget about Dak Prescott. I mean, I'd put him and Jalen Hurts in the same category.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts has had some success in the play. Like Dak the whole thing's weird with Dak.
I would argue
I'm not
Hurts
the biggest Dak guy in the world.
Better teams. Just saying. I think they're the same guy. Jalen's just a better runner. Dak's just a little bit better passer.
Coming from the Eagles fan. I'm not gonna.
Do you want to talk about that game?
That's the way you feel.
Yeah, I'm just not a big Jalen guy.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. It was a weird game. It was a weird game to watch. And I think honestly, I was so distracted by how poorly the Packers played that I wasn't even focusing on the Eagles, if that makes sense. Like from the jump, the fumble and the kickoff to immediate touchdown, it felt like the game was over right there. Because like that was such a big momentum swing at the beginning of the game that I honestly am surprised it only ended up being 22-10. I don't know if the Eagles got a little complacent. Obviously, kind of like you said, they can absolutely.
Well, it should have been 29-10.
Yeah. Why?
Saquon.
Am I missing something? Oh, that's right. You know what? Pissed me off.
Yeah, I hate that.
Pissed me off.
Why did you bet the over?
Yo, I bet the over. I bet I had Saquon anytime touchdown and like 4 bets. Like, I think I had his over. He might have hit his over yardage anyway. Yeah, he hit his over yardage anyway. But I was pissed. Like, I didn't realize how bad it was until they showed the overhead replay. Like, I was pissed. I was like,
he was gone. Well, did you see Devontae and AJ Brown?
No.
They were like, oh, I need to send you clips, but there's clips of them like, come here, fucking score. What are you doing?
We're winning by 2. Like, it's a blowout anyway. It doesn't matter. God,
well, betting aside, I hate when players do that.
Yeah. But unless the only time it's fine. Like, I don't mind if they do it if it makes sense. Like, we're up 2 or we're up 1. There's 30 seconds left. I got the first down. I'm just gonna fall because then we can take a knee on the game instead of risking them scoring a game tying touchdown.
But yeah, I guess.
But yes, when you're up 12 and there's 40 seconds left and you have a breakaway 70-yard touchdown, go fucking score.
I like this.
Like, I just, I didn't realize how bad it was, like how big of a lane he had until they showed like the overhead, like the sky cam. And I was like, because I wasn't sure if there was like a safety back there or someone coming at an angle. He had no one. He was gone. No one's catching him. Like, damn it. I was like, and
I'm going to be honest. I think, like, I'm not really worried about the Eagles. Like, they're such a solid team. And there's like a weird, I don't know if I was talking to you about this, but like, I'm not a huge Jalen guy, but when when he has the ball in his hand, I'm like, I trust him.
Mm-hmm.
But then sometimes I'm like, we need a big play. Can you do that?
Yeah. There's something wrong with the passing game. Like, and I think obviously
it seems to fix itself every time someone thinks that.
Yeah, that's true. The AJ Brown stuff's weird. Like, I don't know. There's something going on there a little bit with him. I don't know what it is. Like, I didn't have a problem with him reading the thing on the sidelines. Like, you do what you got to do to like get your head in the game or whatever. Like, that doesn't bother me. I know there's people blowing up about that too. Like, that
it's for
means
content.
He's disgruntled. Yeah, right.
No,
I don't.
It doesn't mean anything. He literally says he's like, I do it every game, and it's the first time you got a camera on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. And like I read someone showed the passage that was read. Like, it was a pretty good. I think trying to keep him. He probably is in that mindset of, I want to be a big part of the game. I'm not right now. This is what I got to do to keep myself in the moment, in the game, working for a bigger picture.
What's the thing about receivers though is because, like, you know, they could just be having like a cardio game and not get the ball and think they're not doing much, but they're really doing a lot. You know, like if you ever listen to like Puka Nacua talk, yeah, he gets thrown to a lot, but he's like, even the games that I know I have to like hit my assignment and I have to make those blocks and, you know, really be a part of the game and really do the extra, because, you know, receivers like want the attention, they want the targets, they want the touchdowns, but they see the ball. If you're a number one receiver, like 5 to 10 times a game, which is like nothing
compared to like a running back, quarterback touching the ball every play. But yeah,
exactly.
I think they need to get that part of the offense figured out though. If they want to make a run in the NFC, like, I think they need a little bit more explosion on the offense. Defense look great. To your point, defense look great. Part of that, I do think Jordan Love, like you said, we said at the beginning, just kind of looked off the last couple weeks. I didn't realize he ended up with 3 picks. I knew he threw 2. He might have thrown a third one towards the end of the game, probably when they were trying to go down and score. But yeah, defense looked great. Like, even Jalen Hurts, like 13 for 21, 131 yards. I think we were texting during the game, and I think we were talking about how bad Jordan Love looked. And then you like said you were nervous about Jalen Hurts, and I was like, yeah, I can understand why you're a little bit nervous about Jalen Hurts. I don't know what it is. Like, I can't even put my finger on it.
Hold on. I said it in a different way than that, but it was something along those lines.
Yeah, something similar.
Oh, I said, I can't tell if Jalen Hurts sucks or not.
Yeah. Did I say he sucks?
And then he goes, he doesn't suck, but he's not top 8, which I agree with.
Yes.
He lives in that 10 to 12 potential to be top 8.
Yes.
Potential. But again, you trust him with the ball. I just don't know if they're down 2 scores, if he's the guy I want. And that's what makes me nervous about the Rams.
And honestly, like, I like that you said that, because we haven't really seen that this year. haven't really been in like maybe early in the year, but they haven't been in that position where they've been down, 10, 14 points this year because
they haven't at all.
Right. They played such good defense. They run the ball so well that it's kind of, they avoid that even in some of the close games, which is great. It's a great way to run your offense if you can do that. So yeah, no, I agree.
Well, it's like what was it, the Steelers game where they literally had the ball for the last 8 minutes of the game?
No, yeah, the Steelers game, they got it was like 11 and a half minutes of the game. Like it was something ridiculous.
But that's what they can do because their run game is so good. I mean, 3rd and 3, they're getting a first down.
Correct. Yeah.
Because you have 2 plays. You run it with Saquon, and then you run it again with Jalen.
I remember that Steelers game because we needed any points to hit the over, and they ran the clock out with 11 minutes, and I was like, I was pissed. But yes, no, exactly. So I think they'll be all right. I do think this is going to be a tougher test, though. I do think they kind of
I'd rather play the Vikings.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Rams just beat the Vikings 27-9.
But I'm saying like, okay, but I mean, how can I say this?
Would you rather be playing the Commanders or the Rams?
Oh, Commanders.
Commanders. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the Rams' firepower, like the Eagles are either going to win like 26-14, or they're going to lose 35-21.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not as perfect of a number, maybe like 33-18.
Yeah. Well, the Rams defense looked good. So I'm excited for that game. It's gonna be a good game. I think
the book is out on Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because the Rams defense was ranked 26th.
So I have a question. We can hop into this game because I have a question on that.
That's why I pivoted.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good segue. Do you think that Sam Darnold cost himself like $20 million these last couple weeks?
I don't think he did, but how can I say this? Financially, no, but there's going to be less teams interested because there are going to be teams because Baker Mayfield had a very similar season when he got that 3-year $100 million deal. Mm-hmm. I mean, he won 14 games. Mm-hmm. He had a chance to get the number 1 seed, but a team is going to give money, but there's not going to be as many people knocking down his door, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the wildest endings to a season we've ever seen. You go from playing week 18 for the 1 seed. If you win, you get the 1 seed, you get a bye. To 7 days later, you're out of the playoffs. Like that.
To being one of the hottest free agents too.
Yeah.
To now, should we?
What do we do with him? Yeah, So my thought on it is I don't think he was ever going to get people are throwing out stupid high numbers like the $45-50 million a year. Like I don't think he was ever going to get that. I think you're. Oh,
I don't think 45 is outlandish.
No. Oh, you don't think so? I think he'll live in the Baker's territory. I think this solidifies him in that 30 to 35 million, or 35 to 40 maybe.
If he gets franchise tag, that's 42 million.
I don't think he's gonna get franchise tag anymore.
I know, but I'm saying I think it's going to be around that number. Trust me, dude. Have you seen what some of these teams do?
Yes. No, I know. Yeah. I feel like he's Geno Smith type of quarterback. And I feel like that's where he's got the mid-30s to 40, I think is where to go. And I think you're right. I think someone's going to pay for him because someone's going to need a quarterback and someone's going to say, hey, this is our best chance to win. I need a quarterback.
It's going to be the Saints.
Actually, yeah. Yes, exactly. It's going to be the Saints.
Or the Raiders.
Yeah. Depending on if they get. I doubt it. I bet if they get Ben Johnson, I'm sure he'll probably want to draft someone, but maybe the Raiders. Yeah. But I don't think he hurt himself too much. To your point, he 14-win team. You led the team to 14 wins. Yes, they had a very good team. I do think I found Kevin O'Connell's comments interesting after the game. He said they were talking about Sam Darnold. He's like, we had a great season, but at the end it just didn't work out. So to me, that felt like a goodbye type of thing. It was hey, it was a great story, but it just wasn't what we needed, what we wanted it to be. And he said he knows he could have played better. And then obviously he said, I know I could have coached better. I'm sure Sam will tell you the same thing, that he could have played better. I do like
he did get out-coached.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's McVay though. Like this is where he shines in these
got out-coached the Lions too.
Yeah, he did.
There's no response. No response.
Lions coaching staff might be the best coaching staff put together. All time. Yeah.
All of them are getting. Yes. I mean, it was like the Eagles when they went to the Super Bowl. Like both those coordinators were gone that next year.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, so I think he's still going to get paid. I think someone's going to pay him. If I had to guess right now, it's not going to be Minnesota, not going to be franchise tag. I think they're going to see what they have in J.J. McCarthy and then use that money elsewhere to help solidify maybe the offensive line. Their interior, their offensive line looked really like, I think it hasn't been great all year, middle of the pack, but it really showed out in the playoffs against the Rams. The Rams took the kind of Aaron Glenn playbook, blitzed the shit out of Sam Darnold, brought pressure off kind of confused him at the line. Which is kind of that seeing ghost things against the Patriots a couple of years ago or whatever, 3 or 4 years ago. The thing with Sam Darnold, though, he's only like 27, which is nuts. He's been in the league for like 6 or 7 years, and he's like 27 years old. So I still think he has a solid career ahead of him. I think he did rejuvenate his career. I think he'll be a Geno Smith type quarterback for the next 3 or 4
years. I think he's a Walmart Baker.
Yes, yeah. I would take Baker over him any day of the week.
A Walmart, Kmart, whatever you want, whatever Mart you want.
Did you say Baker Light last week? Is that what you said?
Baker Light, yeah.
Yeah, Baker Light. Yeah, I like that. I like Baker Light. But yeah, 27-9 that game. Shitty way for the season end for the Vikings. Sucks. Like, feel bad for them. You're nervous about the Rams? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're going up against Matt Stafford, who...
That's what I mean.
I
look at quarterback and coach.
Going up against...
Check.
You're going up against a team that doesn't even use Cooper Kupp anymore. Or the Eagles. Like, he's not even involved in the offense anymore.
Yeah, because Puka is the man.
I know, but it's just weird. Like,
it is weird.
I haven't watched a ton of Rams games.
I feel like they're going to lock him.
I thought that was going to be this week. His line was like 45 and a half. And I hit that so hard. And then first half, 0 targets, 0. Yes, I lost it. He had 1 catch for 29 yards. Trust me, I know. And I just I
think they're just saving him.
I haven't watched a ton of Rams. I didn't have Cooper Kupp on any of my fantasy teams. So, I didn't know how, I knew he wasn't very involved the last few weeks.
Last few weeks he stunk, yeah.
But
he could be hurt.
I don't know. It's just weird. He doesn't seem involved in the offense at all.
Did you hear about Bo Nix?
Yeah, he had a broken back or something.
He had 3 cracked vertebrae?
Yeah. That's
insane.
Yeah, which Bo Nix, I think, is going to be good. I think he's going to, I know they got killed this week, and I don't know if I said this when, I think I meant to say it when the Bengals beat them. I went back and watched that game. They have training wheels on that offense, and they have training wheels on him with a bunch of checkdowns. I think he's going to be good, though. I think he is going to be.
I think it's the same. Good. I think it's the same situation as the Chargers. They were way ahead of schedule. I mean, they had $50 million in dead cap.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was 89 from the Russell Wilson deal. It was almost 90.
I don't think it was that much.
Let me look it up.
But either way, they are ahead of schedule.
Denver Broncos Russell Wilson dead cap hit. $85 million in dead money.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And I think they have one more year of that.
Yeah, I think
it goes down to 30.
Yeah, I think they might have one more year and then it's fully off the books. Worst contract it's
no, it's not. It's not the worst contract.
Deshaun Watson's worst contract.
Yeah. There we go.
Which he retore his Achilles, which is just they might get out of it, which is nuts.
That's crazy.
Another quarterback that I think has sealed his fate, Russell Wilson.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think he's out of Pittsburgh. I think he's done.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. Did you hear about him and Artie Smith?
Yeah, they just not getting along.
Yeah.
I saw a joke. It was something because, if you look at Russell Wilson's passing charts, it's all on the boundaries, short or on the boundaries, nothing down the middle because he's scared to turn the ball over. He's scared to throw the ball over the middle, which is hard to do in the NFL. And it was something wait, hold on. Let me. Okay. It was Arthur Smith, Russ, please throw the ball over the middle, and he just goes, no, LOL. And then I just thought that was so funny. I don't know why. That was their disagreement. That was their argument.
I will say they have just no weapons, and you can say George Pickens, but that guy is
head case.
I mean, I saw on Twitter that some Steelers fans just want him out, just to be let's just get rid of this before it gets worse. I mean, they produce some of the.
It's
They produce all of the like Deontay Johnson got waived again. Do you hear about that?
Yeah, he got picked up back up by the Ravens.
Yeah, but he's not allowed to play.
Yeah, right. Which is the whole situation's bizarre. He's been on 5 teams this year.
It's so like they can get some draft pick or something weird.
Compensation. Compensatory pick. Yeah, compensatory.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, obviously Antonio Brown, but he was, he was good enough to do all that stuff. Chase Claypool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Chase. I forget. I always forget about Chase Claypool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's anyway. It's and Najee Harris looks like he's running in sand all the time, and
yeah, I'm really curious what happens with him. Like, I don't think they're going to re-sign him because he's a free agent. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option. I'm curious what he gets on the open market and who picks it. It's got to be someone who has like a receiving speed back that they want to pair him with. But like, it's like Garrett Blunt, and how he ended his career. Maybe, I don't know. He does look like he's running in sand. The offense looks so much better when Jaylen Warren was in the game compared to Najee Harris. It's hard to watch Najee run sometimes.
Najee Harris might be a Bengal.
It would actually make sense. If you got him for cheap, I wouldn't hate it just for like goal line and stuff like that. I think he'd pair pretty well with Chase Brown. I don't want it to happen, but I would not. I think it would make sense, but I hate watching him play football.
Tell you what, man, seeing Joe Mixon succeed like this is it's pretty
We've
wild.
Talked about this.
I know.
He
doesn't work. Well, maybe they should run the ball because give the defense a break and they can stop somebody.
Yeah, I don't disagree. They need to run the ball better. You also can't have
they need to run the ball more.
You can't have more and better, both.
Yeah, but you can run the ball better with a better running back.
Well, I think Chase Brown's a good running back.
He's fine.
Offensive line sucks.
Just saying, this is a topic for the offseason.
Yeah, no, we don't need to get into the Bengals. Let's move. But I wanted to bring up Russell Wilson just again because it feels like there's this like every game this week was like shitty quarterback performance, shitty quarterback performance, shitty quarterback performance. Not that Russell Wilson's was necessarily as bad as some of those other guys, but they didn't stand a chance in this game from kickoff into the game.
I don't think he was. He was fine. He did good enough to succeed, but he wasn't given the tools to. I mean, dude,
they should trade George Pickens. I think you need to get that out of the locker room.
They need to do I don't think they're going to bring back Justin Fields. I don't think they're going to bring back Russell Wilson. I have heard there might be an Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams.
That would be funny.
That would be wild.
So I think they should bring Justin Fields back. I think it would make sense on a cheap deal just because he's still young. Like, I still think he has potential. It sounds like
what do you think his value is?
I don't think he has a ton. Like, I mean, he got traded. They traded a 6th or 5th round pick for him. So like, you wouldn't get he's a free agent, so you're not going to get anything in a trade. I think he's like a $10, $12 million quarterback, like one of the super cheap quarterbacks that has to sign a year or two prove a deal, kind of like Sam Darnold did a couple years ago with Carolina or whatever it was. You need. I think he's in that realm. He hasn't proved it enough to get that contract. So I think even like Mitch Trubisky, the 1 year when he left Chicago in free agency, I think he signed a 2-year, $20 million deal with the Steelers, or maybe it was the Bills, but like something in that range. Like, that's probably what he's going to get.
I feel like Justin Fields is going to be like sign like a 2-year deal, like you said, for. I mean, I think it's going to be like between 15 and 20. But
his agent should not let him sign more than 2 years because.
No, I agree. But I think he's either going to go to the Raiders or the Giants, and they're going to draft their young guy and have him sit behind Justin Fields for. I mean, Justin Fields with Malik Neighbors, Yeah,
it'd be fun.
Yeah. Or
I just want to be outside of Pittsburgh. I want to cheer for him. So.
Show anyone who in free agency, Brock Bowers, like, hey, you get to throw this. This guy's massive.
I actually think that's
what catch the ball.
I think that's what entices Ben Johnson about. I mean, besides the Tom Brady stuff about going to the Raiders, is he has his like Sam Laporta on steroids and in Brock Bowers. Like, you have that.
And he's also got one of the best defensive linemen in the league.
Right. But I'm talking for his offensive standpoints as his offensive coach, like, so he can run his scheme.
The offensive and defensive coach thing blows my mind that we even talk about this.
It matters.
I know, but like, you're gonna have to overlook everything.
Yes, But, and this is like prime examples from like this, like earlier this year, Brian Callahan for the Titans. He's an offensive minded head coach. He came from Cincinnati. One of the, like, they had a terrible year. The biggest gripe that the defense or like the team had, he had defensive players come up to him and said, hey, you need to spend more time with us. So yes, you need to overlook everything. But I do think coaches have a tendency to like Zach Taylor, Bengals, for example, oversees the offense. He needs a Lou Anarumo or someone who can run the defense without him needing to be involved. Like, I don't need to call plays. I don't need to do that. Like, I think that's how it works a lot of the time.
Well, I don't think your head coach should be your play caller.
Yeah, I also agree with that. I do not think head coach should be play callers, but a lot of them are, especially the offensive guys.
They need to be all around. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, it's cool. If there was a Bengals job open, I'd be like, okay, just get a good offensive coordinator and a good defensive coordinator and find a coach who kind of knows it all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I think they all know.
I agree. That's why like, when people say like, oh, he's a defensive mind, it's like, well, he's a head coach, so he needs to know all of it. If he's only focusing on one, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I do think they put more of their time into the specific spots. But anyway, we can argue that.
I think you can specialize in stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We should talk briefly about the game that actually mattered this week. I guess they all mattered because they got eliminated, but the actual good game of the week. Bucs and Commanders. Jane Daniels.
He's pretty
good. Looks pretty good. That was it, third down or fourth down play to basically seal it to kick the field goal, where he got caught like 4 yards in the backfield. And God, who was the defender? I'm drawing a blank. Was it Kalijah Cansey? I think it was Kalijah Cansey, who had a great game. Whiffed, grabbed his towel, and is just chasing after him with the towel. I thought that was so funny because he was like, fuck, and then you could see him put his hands on his helmet. Jane Daniels looked great. That was a fun game to watch. Like, it's not I cared about it. It was obviously not the most interesting game to me going into it. We kind of talked it earlier. Not the biggest matchup in the world when you think Commanders, Buccaneers. Thought it'd be high scoring. Wasn't as high scoring as I thought it'd be. I'm glad. I like that the Commanders won. They kind of broke their playoff drought. It's been since like 2006, or I can't remember exactly what year it was. When they last
won. It was like 25 years, something.
It's been
or 20 years. It's 20 years.
20 years. It's been it says first playoff win in 6,945 days. So long time. Math. So good for them for winning for winning this game. Fun game. I feel bad. I was kind of found myself cheering for the Buccaneers throughout most of the game. I don't know why. I think it's the Baker thing. I like Mike Evans too. I like Bucky Irvin. Like, I just think they have a fun team. So I'm a little bummed that they got knocked out. But I would consider it successful season for the Bucs. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. Atlanta was a heavy favorite. We kind of I think we both said, watch out for the Bucs if anyone. Like, I don't know why Atlanta's such heavy favorites. So I do think having the Commanders in the playoffs though will make it fun next week. Like, I just, whenever you see a rookie quarterback,
10-point underdogs.
Yeah, it does suck, the 10-point underdogs. Yeah, I guess they are playing the Lions, which does kind of suck. Yeah. So I think the Buccaneers would have been similar though, right?
Probably would have been 12.
Yeah, probably would have been 12. Yeah. So I don't know. It was a good game. It was fun to watch. Good ending. The doink in, hilarious. And then you had, that video of the kicker going around was funny. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's people get really weird about, like, I mean, if you watch any mental sport, there's stuff that happens like that all the time. Like, you watch, I mean, kicking and golf are very similar, except in golf you don't have 11 guys running at you. But it's very mental, and people do things that get them ready. In baseball, you see guys pitching or about to hit, they're like adjusting their gloves or licking their fingers, or I don't know. I mean,
golf's a good one too. It's a good analogy.
Seeing stuff like that is very normal with with what I do. So when people are freaking out, they're like, "Oh, look at this guy." I'm like, he's just trying to get. I mean, he's about to kick a field goal that's going to change his life. Good or bad.
Good or bad. Send Washington to the next round of playoffs, first win in 7,000 days, and it's like a it's like to your point. It's like your golf routine, right? It's like your
pre-shot routine.
Pre-shot routine. I thought it was funny how much run that got, like, and how many people were going crazy about it.
People don't know.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah,
and it is weird, but guess what? You have to be weird to be that good.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, that's happened all year. Like, I feel like I've seen that same video like 7 times this year.
Tom Brady hasn't eaten a carb in 25 years. You can tell me that's not weird?
Avocado ice cream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was it was a good game. I'm bummed for the Buccaneers. They were kind of the team I was kind of cheering for. I want someone from the NFC to come out of to win. I think I'm a bandwagon Lions fan these last couple weeks. I think I want the Lions to win the Super Bowl. So, what, you got a problem with cheering for the Lions? You've never made it to the Super Bowl?
You're looking for someone in the NFC to root for, and
sorry,
God forbid your co-host.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of forgot about that.
This fucking guy. All right,
I did forget about it, but
never rooting for the Bengals again.
That's fine. I don't blame you because it's painful. So
I jumped off that bandwagon a long time ago.
Yeah, I know, it's probably a good call. But this week's matchups: Texans, Chiefs, Commanders, Lions, Rams, Eagles, Ravens. Ravens, Bills. I'm so excited for that game. It's gonna be such a good game.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm so excited. Do you want to talk college real quick? Quick thoughts on national championship before we get into our bets?
Sure. I mean, this is a nightmare scenario for me. So
why?
Because I don't like either team.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I went to University of Cincinnati, and Notre Dame takes all of our coaches, and Ohio State is the worst.
Yes. Okay. So
and they're both really good organizations every year.
Yes.
Organizations, universities, whatever you want to call it. Organizations now.
My quick thoughts. I don't like Ohio State. I'm not an Ohio State guy. I'm cheering for Notre Dame in this game. I also I like Marcus Freeman a lot. I think he's a great coach. I love Marcus. Whenever I see his halftime speeches, even his sideline when he talks to the sideline reporters, even he actually gives insightful information as opposed to we just need to run the ball, or he actually gives thoughtful answers and isn't kind of a dick. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I think those sideline things are stupid, but even in those,
who are they for?
Right. But even in those moments, you can tell he is just a good dude. You know what I mean?
He seems like the best guy.
Yeah, I know he came from UC, so I'm sure that burns a little bit, it stings a little bit, but you can't help but cheer for that guy. And I think I took them I think the spread's 8.5 now. It was 9.5 when it came out, so I think I got Notre Dame at plus 9.5. So I'm gonna be cheering for Notre Dame. I do think Ohio State's gonna win. I do think Ohio State is probably the better team. But Ohio State hasn't really dominated anyone this year besides Oregon. I feel like they...
You mean the best team in the nation?
Yes, okay. But yeah, all right. I can see how that sounds. It sounds terrible when you say it out loud. But that was the only game where I felt holy shit, Ohio State is the best team in the country.
Are they supposed to dominate the SEC champion?
Yeah, I guess it's true. I'm just trying to make myself feel better about my pick.
No, I mean, Ohio State, I think Ohio State's going to win, but I'm definitely rooting for Notre Dame. And honestly, I don't even want to watch the game. Purely on my bias. I mean, I'm going to.
Your hatred.
But it's just the two schools that I just don't like, And, we have people in our lives who like both. I mean, you have family members who like Ohio State, and we have good friends who are diehard
Notre Dame fans.
And yeah. So
I'm gonna be cheering.
That's about it.
I'm gonna be cheering. Yeah, I'm gonna be cheering for Notre Dame. I think they cover 9.5. I do think it's gonna be a close game. I just can't believe it's that big of a spread. I was surprised.
I can believe it.
You can.
Yeah. Ohio State's so good. It's so annoying.
It's just that Michigan game, man. It sticks out like a sword.
The NIU game doesn't.
Yeah, that was so long ago though that I feel like it's almost that to me is kind of the week one wackiness of the NFL, where like weird shit happens first 2 games of the season. Like,
yeah, but
people beat each other up, but I guess that's true.
But like the Michigan game, like lit a fire in their ass, and then
might be the two biggest
didn't Michigan win their bowl game?
Yeah, they beat Alabama, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, I do think those were like 2 of the biggest upsets of the entire season.
Rivalry games you have to throw out because it's always going to be
it's
a weird one. It's always going to be like that.
Ryan Day gets tight in those Michigan games.
Yeah, I hate Ryan Day, dude.
So do I. I can't stand him, and that's part of it. It's like the 2 coaches you have on those sidelines could not be polar. Like,
I'm straight up rooting for Marcus Freeman, and also while we're on that topic, have you heard the rumors he might be the next Bears head coach?
I don't think it's.
I don't think it's going to happen either. But
yeah.
A lot of people are talking about that.
I know. I saw that going around. I don't think he would leave Notre Dame to go to that shit show, and I don't know. But I don't know how much people weigh, like how much he weighs being the coach of Notre Dame compared to just being an NFL coach. Like, I don't know. I think people have different things. They want different things. Like, I think there's certain college coaches, like Mike Vrabel, we talked about it. He has kind of openly said, I do not want to go back to be a college coach. I hated the recruiting. It's different now because NIL, it's not as much recruiting as it is paying for players now.
Well, now people are getting GMs for all that.
Right. Oh, yeah. But yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. So, like, I think there are those pros and cons to it. If you just want to be an NFL coach to say you coach at the highest level, then I think it would make sense. But I feel like he could leave whenever. If that, like, for what he's done at Notre Dame in 3 years, I think he could kind of pick and choose where he wants to go and he can leave whenever. I just don't know if Chicago's the job he would want it. Like, that, so much dysfunction in that organization. I just don't know why you would want to do that.
But if you bring a, if you bring a successful team to that organization, that's huge.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Like huge.
On that real quick, what do you think about the Deion Sanders to Dallas stuff?
It's such a Cowboys move. And
it's such a Cowboys move.
It'll be a nightmare.
It's all publicity. It's all clicks. It's all for views and likes and all that shit. Jerry Jones needs to have someone.
He won't.
He won't. He won't what?
He won't do any of that. He's going to do exactly what he's going to be doing. I don't even know what you're going to say, and he's not going to. I was
going to say, where are you going with this? You don't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea what you're going to say, but he's not going to change anything that he does.
No. This is what I'm saying. He wants to be in the limelight, so this would make sense because he wants a storyline, whether or not it makes his football team good or not. He does. I don't think he actually cares. I think he just wants the publicity. So he'll either do this, he'll either make like a splash, Deion Sanders, or he's going to hire like Kellen Moore, someone who's been with the organization, and someone he can control like a puppet. Like, so, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah,
I think with he might want to do the Deion thing, but I think he wants to be on the limelight, not someone who's going to shine brighter than him.
Yeah. So you think he did this for like the views right now, just to like get shit turning? Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, dude, he had Jason Garrett there for like 5 years too long, and then he hired like the most quiet coach in the league in Mike McCarthy. Yeah. So he wants to be the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't disagree.
Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore has that job.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm not a big Kellen Moore guy.
No, me either. I'm not either. Which I guess that it's more But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting story. Of course, that popped up this week. And then they were talking about trading Dak and trading up to get Shador and all. Like, he's going to have Shador refuse to play anywhere. He's going to fall to 12. They'll take him, trade Dak. It's just all this shit just spinning in like half a day of all this happening. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Cowboys, man. But
I thought
it was interesting.
I can't even imagine being a fan of the Cowboys. That'd be brutal. But anyway, let's get to our bets.
Yes. All right. So this week, I wanted to question for you. So we'll go over the bets from last week, and then I have an idea for us to do. I went 0-3. First time going 0-3 this entire year. First time going 0-3. It brings my record to 39-18.
You're so adamant about the Steelers.
I was so adamant. It's such a bad read. I took Chargers -2.5 too. They lost by 20.
I mean, everyone had. I think it was like 73% of the money had Chargers.
Yeah. And then I had Packers-Eagles over 45.5. I did not see basically no offense coming from Green Bay. They had a lot of injuries kind of happen throughout the game, but I did not see that going that way, so I lost all three. Mike went 3-0, so we flip-flopped there. 0-3 and 3-0. It's a good week for Mike. He is now 31, 22, and 2. Look at that. I just meant it's a good week for you. Like 3-0, it's a good week for anybody.
I mean, how you said that was...
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I offend you? By the way I said that?
I'm pretty offended.
So Mike's 31, 22, and 2. He had Eagles minus 4.5, Bills minus 8.5, which that was the easiest one of the week. That was the one. And then Commanders plus 3 to go 3-0. So Mike gets to go first this week. I actually thought it'd be fun if we did a 4-leg parlay. We had to pick a bet from all 4 games this weekend.
Wait.
Just me and you. We have to do we do a parlay together. Let's do our bets and then let's do a parlay for all 4 games.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Should we just do 2 this week instead of 3?
We're doing 3.
How do you even get 3 out of this? This is
because there's 4 options in each game, and there's 4 games.
Okay.
Can you do that math?
These are hard lines this week too.
We have 16 total bets that we can make. And we're only picking 6.
Okay.
All right.
Confident after his 3-0 week.
Dude, these games.
Yeah, it's hard this week. I was looking at it earlier. I was
because the Chiefs 8.5. They don't cover, but it's like one of those things where if you do it now, all right. I'm just gonna go Lions minus 9.5.
Okay, I like that. All right, so Lions minus 9.5, and that is minus 108.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if I like that.
I mean, I think the Lions are best team left, so I think it makes sense. I'm gonna go Rams Eagles over 43.5.
Ooh.
Although wouldn't have worked.
If the Eagles win, it's gonna be an ugly game.
Yeah, I do think points are going to get put up this week. I don't see it being as low. Like Rams are going to put up more than 9 or 10 points wherever the Packers put up, and I can see the Eagles still putting up 21, 22. So as long as I think they'll both score 20. Is kind of why I don't feel confident about it. But there's only so many to choose from that. Honestly, these are all kind of like stay away games if you really think about it. Like these are all hard as hell to pick.
It's because they're all good teams.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's hard to pick.
All right. I'm gonna go Eagles minus 6.
Okay. Holy shit. Okay. All right. I like it. You gotta have confidence in your team. I like it. All right. Eagles minus 6 is minus 110.
They're gonna win 25. No. Yeah, they're gonna win 25 to 15.
So my over's not hitting, is what you're telling me.
No. If they win,
you should place the exact score.
If they win, your over's not hitting.
Okay.
If the Rams win, it will.
It is hitting. Yeah, I actually agree with that. God, the Bills-Ravens game. I want to take a bet in that, but I have no idea which way that's going to go. I'm not going to.
I know. I'm leaning Ravens.
I know. I'm tempted to take Ravens minus 1.5 just because they blew them out earlier this year, but that was week 4, so it's so long ago.
They're the hottest team in the league right now.
Mm-hmm. 55.5 for the Lions Commanders. Holy shit. I'm tempted to take my first under and go under 55.5.
Oh.
I don't.
This guy, he's rethinking it all after an 0-3 week.
I know. The Chiefs minus 8.5 makes so much sense, but they don't cover more than one score. Yeah, they don't cover, so I can't take that.
I already have my next bet.
Fuck, this is hard. I'm going to go. So you took Eagles minus 6. I'm going to go, and you have Lions minus 9.5. I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Chiefs minus 8.5. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
It's the only one that's really calling to me at all. So I'm going to take it. And that is minus 105.
Minus 105, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my last pick is going to be Chiefs Texans over 41.5.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
It's way too low.
It's really low.
And it's a day game.
See the reason I took the Chiefs minus 8.5 is because I can see their defense holding.
Wait. Let me check the weather. This could be. It's supposed to be 5 degrees. Wait. Yeah. No. 32. We're good.
Okay.
Sticking with it.
Okay. I'm going to do. I could probably take either Ravens or Bills money line just because the odds are minus 115, minus 105 because the spread's so close. I'm going to take Ravens money line minus 115.
Okay. Okay.
You
That's
don't
your
like
last
that?
pick. No, that's your last pick.
Yeah.
I thought I had one more because I was going to ask if I could go Ravens minus 1.5.
No, you're just not used to going first, so you didn't realize that you were done already.
That's brutal.
Am I wrong?
I mean, Mr. 0-3 in the playoffs.
It was a bad week.
This guy can't perform in the playoffs.
It was a bad week.
Typical Bengals fan. You have no playoff wins.
Last couple of years. I don't.
You haven't been in the playoffs the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we can stop.
Sorry.
Let's move on. Damn it. All right. Do you want to do? We have to pick a bet
in each game.
We can do alternates. I'm thinking the Chiefs Texans. We do like -6 for the Chiefs.
Love that.
Okay. Let's do -6. You want to do 6.5?
Yeah, let's do 6.5.
Okay. Yeah, because you can't do 6. So -6.5. All right. Commanders, Lions.
I think we just leave it at -9.5.
You don't leave it at -9.5? You don't want to tease it down a little bit?
To what, 8?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, 8.5 maybe? That way 9 covers?
I think they're going to kill them.
Okay, let's do -9.5. All right. Rams, Eagles.
This game. 41.5 over.
You want to tease it? Yeah, let's tease the over down. I kind of like that. Let's do 41.5. Okay, yeah, it's still -150. I like that. And then Ravens, Bills. I think it's going to be high scoring.
I don't think it's going to be 50.
No.
I mean, I kind of like Ravens money line.
You like Ravens money line?
Yeah,
do you want to do them?
Even 1.5.
Yeah, do you want to do -1.5? Different than the bet I made, at least.
Yeah.
No, let's do -1.5. Plus 932 parlay odds. So that would be Chiefs -6.5, Lions -9.5, over 41.5 Rams Eagles, and then Ravens -1.5. I like it.
All right. Do you want to do touchdown?
Yeah, let's do touchdown.
All right.
Did we miss? 3. We only hit one last week. Did Mark Andrews score a touchdown last week?
No.
Damn.
You wanted that, didn't you?
I wanted it so badly. All right.
I'd be lying to you if I didn't put him in a few bets.
Yeah, I put him in a few too. It was another 1 week away type week. It's always one hit away. All right. Anyone stick out to you off the bat? Off the rip?
Derrick Henry, 2 touchdowns.
No, no. What are the odds? It's only plus 235. It's not even worth it.
I mean, I think he's going to score 5.
That's how.
How about?
I'm going to go.
All right, yeah, you pick.
Yeah. You think AJ Brown? Like I'm always on the AJ Brown bandwagon.
Yeah, what is with you and AJ Brown?
I don't know. I just feel like when this shit happens, like when there's any sort of this kind of like shit to the side, I feel like there's usually an emphasis to get him involved. If it's not just him, any receiver.
I just don't think they care.
Yeah,
they're like we're winning.
Yeah,
but
I like him or Puka though. Take one of the guys that didn't hit last week.
Let's do. Man, that game's tough. Can we start at like a high-scoring game?
They're all tough, man. This is hard. We should take a Lion probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Amon-Ra minus 120 or Sam Laporta plus 145.
I like Laporta.
Okay, let's do Laporta.
What are your thoughts on Pacheco?
I don't know. And I don't know what the bye week has done, but when he came back from the injury, he did not look like his normal self. So it's kind of hard to gauge.
DeAndre Hopkins? No.
I don't hate Hopkins.
I mean, his plus 265 is insane.
You want to do Hopkins? Playoff Hopkins? Okay, I like it.
I mean, they're probably going to use him. He's like one of those guys, you know?
I like it. He might have Stingley on him. That's the only thing.
I don't think so. You think they would have it Stingley on him over Hollywood Brown or Xavier Worthy?
Yeah, they're probably not going to shadow anybody. They'll probably just play sides.
Yeah.
They probably won't actually shadow anybody. All right, this is longer odds already. We're going kind of longer odds with these.
What do we have so far?
We have Sam Laporta at plus 145 and DeAndre Hopkins at plus 265. So we're almost to plus 800 already.
What are your thoughts on Dallas Goedert getting another one? That stiff arm he had was insane.
Yeah, it was sick. Like the 3 he had in the one play.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stuck on this Puka or AJ Brown. They force feed Puka targets.
What about James Cook?
I like James Cook. I do like James Cook. Yeah, plus 105. Let's do James Cook. I like James Cook. Plus 1733.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. So Sam Laporta, DeAndre Hopkins, James Cook.
I just think the Rams game is just going to be like this all night, just pounding heads.
I do think there's something to like playoffs, like weird things happen. Not your typical people don't score either. Like I do think there's part of that in the playoffs. So, all right,
perfect.
And we got our bets in.
Follow us for more bets at AthletePod on Twitter, at Traveling Athlete Pod on Instagram. Don't know about TikTok, but we're on there.
Banned. Mm-hmm.
We're on there until we're not, but we're on YouTube as well. So if TikTok's gone, come over to YouTube, and then if we want to get real weird, we'll download Red Note.
I don't even know what that is. So
it's the new one.
Yeah, okay. I have no idea.
It's the new one. But all right, Brian.
All right. It was fun. Thanks, Mike.